get you all riled up about a whole religion, a whole race of people, just because certain factions of the CIA or the Mossad or some corrupt, shady-ass branch of something or other came and fucking perpetrated this horrible tragedy on us, which has actually been a blessing in disguise, in my opinion. Now we're gonna what? Just because New Yorkers have such pent-up hatred for other people that aren't like them, they're just gonna project that shit onto Muslims? You know? If it was something else, if there was some other opportunity for them to express their bigoted, racist, hateful views, I'm sure they would take it up. You know, anybody who has watched my Illuminarium documentary, this is a perfect example of the formula which I was talking about, whereby these hidden factions, which seem to be guiding world events, create a deeply polarizing thing. They try to polarize us as far apart as we can, and in our reconciliation of that polarity, we move forward as a species. So this event is extremely polarizing, and it's going to cause those negative people to consider their negativity. It's going to cause those negative people to consider, wow, I'm in the camp of the bigots. Wow, I'm in the camp of the homophobes and the Islamophobes and the raceophobes and the xenophobes. I'm in the camp of the fearmongers. I'm in the camp of the corrupt fascist douchebags. That's what it's going to happen. This is the polarizing effect. And those liberal people who may not before have had even much respect for religion find themselves all of a sudden sticking up for Islam. And this is, I believe, exactly how true Luminism works. You'll notice that the mayor of New York was all for it. He's 100% behind it, resolutely. It's almost like he didn't even care if the people did or did not want behind it. It's almost like he was ordered by some higher authority to take that stance. I honestly and sincerely believe that that's how major world events work. Whether that they're conscious of this polarizing, reconciliating evolution that they're causing, this problem reaction solution that they're causing, whether they're conscious of it or not, it doesn't matter. They're doing it. You know, so America, get over yourself a little bit. Just get over yourself just a little bit, especially you Tea Party activists and you fucking conservative, ultra right-wing Constitution Nazis. Get over yourself a little bit. You're not for the Constitution. You're for your own agenda. And you use what parts of the Constitution fit that agenda. We have no right to tell these people, okay, you can build here, but you can't build there. Oh no, you just can't. You just can't build there. It's just too sensitive. But what about my constitutional rights? Oh, you know, you should just waive them for us because it's just too sensitive, you know. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is this, like, political correctness, like, beating around the bush bullshit? You know what I mean? It's just absolute bullshit. Yeah, let's hide from the issue. We won't face our fears. We won't face the issue. We'll just forever fear and hate Muslims. That's the message that you get from these people who oppose the mosque project. We don't want tolerance of Muslims. We just want to forever hate them, isolate them, and look at them like the very enlightened gentleman said in the CNN thing. Look at them as second-class citizens. On a side note, just for a second, I would like you seriously, this is very, very important to understanding the political landscape of America at the moment. Take a good, close look at the two people on the bottom of the screen who are arguing against it and the two people at the top of the screen who are arguing for it. The two people on the top of the screen, one of them was a Harvard professor, and so young. You know, he's an indigo. Period. He's an indigo. He is a classic textbook definition of an indigo. Indigo ray is that which synthesizes everything into itself into a complete, perfect wisdom. Him at his age, he has synthesized all of the lower understandings from school into himself and emerged as a professor of Harvard. He is a genius. He is a mental force to be reckoned with. And all of his arguments are perfectly sane. They're perfect, hermetically sound arguments. His arguments aren't based on his passions, his vendettas, his agenda, his bigoted worldview. His arguments are not based on populism, based on trying to look good for his supporters like the other two people. They're not based on politics. They're based on understanding. They're based on truth instead of politics, populism, bigotry, the lowest of our emotions. You look at the two people on the bottom, it's all bigotry. All it is fear, aversion, bigotry, and populism. That's the main word, populism, to understand the difference between the right wing and the left wing. The left wing operates from an internal morality. The right wing has already decided their morality, or has already been given their morality by people like Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck, and they just run around flaunting it. They don't try to think. They don't think critically like the people on the top of the screen were doing. They were thinking critically. They weren't thinking from bias. They weren't thinking from a pre-existing agenda that they were trying to enforce. Like you, Mr. David Webb. I'm gonna have to make a couple videos on this David Webb guy, because he's a fucking snake if I've ever seen one. You know, the worst people that you have to look out for are people like David Webb, who sort of come off as a normal guy, sort of, but they just inflame populist opinions enough to be considered dangerous. Not, he doesn't inflame them as much as Glenn Beck or someone like Sean Hannity, but he does inflame them enough so that he is constantly keeping people under the spell of their own ignorance and their own bigotry and their own populist sentiment. And of course he only does that to keep the power. He wants to probably be a fucking governor or a congressman or a president someday. My point is that why are you going to listen to somebody like this who's got an obvious agenda? He's not even speaking for what's right or wrong. He's just speaking for what he thinks that his supporters want to hear. He's just speaking for what he thinks his Tea Party people want to hear. And as for the woman in the bottom left of the corner, please, she's not even worth mentioning. She didn't even pretty much say too much. You know, what was she saying? Oh, you should just be sensitive. I know we want mosques. We don't want to hate on Muslims, but oh, you should just really be sensitive to our bigotry and keep your mosque away from our sacred holy ground. Oh, please. Okay, so that's hilarious. They call 9/11 hallowed ground, sacred hallowed ground. Yet a church, a mosque, a place of worship, what's that? Fucking chopped liver? You know what I mean? Fucking nothing? That's not sacred holy ground? Do you not see that there doesn't need to be this aversion, it doesn't need to have this conflict between the two ideas of this sacred ground and this sacred ground. Let Muslims come there, let them worship, let them apologize, let them show love, let them apologize for the radicals in their religion, let them change your perspectives on Islam, let them come and be ambassadors of peace and goodwill at that place. I don't understand why is there something wrong with that, except that there is a bunch of fucking bigoted, racist people in New York and everywhere else in the country. I'm not just going to hate on you, New York, that don't want to see that happening. They just can't stand the sight of peace-loving Muslims near 9/11, the near the mosque, near the World Trade Center at 9/11. They just can't fathom the sight of peace-loving Muslims not blowing themselves up, just doing their thing. They're not making this mosque to rub it in your face, to try to say, look, okay, Islam has conquered and everything. If people are saying that, they're just stupid, you know, they're just dumb people. People are gonna say shit like that, they're just stupid. Christians say some hella dumb stuff, and you don't hear us fucking talking about it all the time, although I would love to make some more videos about it, because it's a deep issue in this country. There are gonna be people, fringe elements, who are saying, oh yes, Islam, go ahead and conquer. Yes, you know, they're the best religion and all this stuff. You know, fuck all those people. The great majority of Muslims are peace-loving people.